What is going on, guys? Today I'm doing my ABC deck profile. I know I said a couple weeks ago that I was going to do this deck profile. I actually forgot. I lent it out to one of my friends. He really wanted to play the deck and he couldn't find a good deck core for it, so I'm going to borrow my deck. He gave it back to me the other day. I've been kind of testing it out, which we can get around, making the deck a little more fun, a little more control based. I think the version of my deck makes the deck a little more playable against today's meta matchups. I do think this deck struggles against decks like Trudrakos and against Zoo. It's some bad matchups there, but in general, against every other deck is really powerful. Nothing has been hit. Nothing has been limited. The deck is just still really fun, and it can go off. And you can pretty much lock your opponent out of plays. Like I said before, this deck is the control version. This is my version of a control-based ABC deck. It doesn't really OTK, but it just kind of stuns and delays and controls the game. So as always, I will show you the main deck, the side deck, and the extra decks. Let's get into it. Starting off with the main deck, I run AAA Assault Core. I think he's a really important starter card in the deck. His first effect, he can attach himself to a light machine type monster you control, and if you do, it is unaffected by your opponent's monster effects, and if he is sent to the grave, you can add one other Union monster from your graveyard to your hand. Next up, I run Triple Buster Drake. His effect, when he's attached to a light machine type monster, is that it's unaffected by your opponent's spell effects, and when he is destroyed into the grave, or if he's just sent to the grave and be destroyed, you add one Union monster from your deck to your hand. And lastly, I run Triple C Crush Wyvern. Again, when this card is attached to a light machine type monster, it is unaffected by your opponent's trap effects, and when scratched into the graveyard, you can special summon one Union monster from your hand. I think it's absolutely necessary to run all three pieces of ABC at 3. I think people will run this card at 2, particularly C. I don't understand that. I like having the ability to make Buster Dragon at minimum 3 times. If your opponent kaijus him away 3 times, right, at least you have the ability to make him 3 times. I think that's really important. So I like running triple A, B, and C. Next up, I run double Gold Gadget and double Silver Gadget. I didn't like running them at 3. I tested it out. I tested it actually kind of a lot. I just figured that, at 3, I found myself drawing it too much and not being happy I was drawing it. But then at 1, I found myself never actually seeing it and being really missing the second one. So I think 2 is the best. Having him that free special summon is really good. Summon him, we get a free special summon for a Union monster. You can rank 4 plays, which is really cool. And when it's destroyed by Battle or Card effect, you can special summon level 4 gadget monster from your deck. So you can kind of recycle those 2 back and forth. I think that's really good. So I think 2 of each is more than enough. Next up, I run only one Photon Thrasher. I do not like Photon Thrasher, particularly in this build, just because you summon him, and then he can't do anything. He can't attack if you summon another monster, which to me is really bad. In this deck, because you're playing control version, it's not that bad, but you still want to be able to apply a little bit of pressure to the board. And if you summon him and you summon another monster, only thing he's good for is rank 4 play, which is still really good. But in this build, I really like being able to make the Buster Dragon and being able to apply a little bit of pressure to my opponent. That way, I think just the 1 is more than enough. Then I run double X Headcannon, because I do run the XYZ, the mini fusions. I don't run the XYZ big guy, but I do run the XY fusion and the YZ and the XE fusions. He's obviously just a vanilla. He's the worst one. You don't really want to. You want to see him, but you can't really search him, which makes him really tough to play. Then I run double Y Dragon Head and 1 Z Metal Tank, because all their fusions allow you to control the game state a little bit better, which I think is really good. So I run them like that. I think the combination is the best. So there's that. And then I run, for the last of the monsters, triple Quick Draw Synchron. I don't own Galaxy Soldier. If you own Galaxy Soldier, run Galaxy Soldier. He helps you go into Nova and then to Infinity. You can search this card off of tuning, which is really cool. And he helps you kind of go into your plays faster and kind of maintain control when you go into Nova and Infinity. Oh, bump the camera. Sorry, guys. Up the camera. There we go. Off to spells, I run triple Union Hanger and triple Terraforming. The most important card in the deck is Union Hanger, because it's a free, it's a +1. At worst, it's a +1. At best, it's a +2 or 3. And I know the decks I play, I don't like to run Terraforming at 3. Even in decks that rely on the field spell a lot, I find that top decking Terraforming late in game, unless it gives you a free +1 or a better outcome, is not that great. Like in Dinosaurs with Lost World, you play more than, in my opinion, more like 2 Terraforming, and you top deck Terraforming late in game. When that's the last card you want to see, you're not really happy. However, in this deck, you top deck Terraforming at any time in the game, and you're going to get a minimum +1. Because you do is you play Terraforming, you get Union Hanger, you play Union Hanger. When it's activated, you add 1 like machine type Union monster from your deck to your hand, and then you normal summon that machine type monster, the Union monster, add his other effect, and get another card. I mean, you're getting, for the price of 1 card, you're going to wind up with 3 cards in the field for the price of Terraforming, which is really, really, really powerful. So that's why it's absolutely okay to run 3 and 3s of everything there. And in my opinion, that's just the best way to do it. I don't think there's any reason to run either one of those 2. Then I run double Dark Hole, just because board wipe is really powerful, and you don't mind destroying your own stuff, because you can destroy your own stuff, and then your A, B, and C can still get made from the grave. You can make your ABC Buster Dragon, so I think that's really good to be able to clear your opponent's board. Then I run 1 My Body as a Shield. Dryden and Masterpiece both have effects that target and destroy monsters on the field. My Body as a Shield can negate that, and you usually can destroy a Dryden, and a Masterpiece is affected. If Masterpiece wasn't made to be unaffected by spell cards, you could destroy Masterpiece, which is really kind of cool. And with a cost of 1,500 life points, Dryden is not bad. Then I run double Twin Twister. You don't mind discarding your ABC pieces, and the back row hate is real. I really, really, really hate back row. I think every video I've said that, but I think that's a really good card. Twin Twister in this deck is really good. 1 Tuning to see a quick draw Synchron, and 1 Forbidden Chalice. Forbidden Chalice, you can play it as a trap card, and then hit it on like a Dryden, because it's really good to hit on Dryden when it activates its effect, target, and destroy. Has a detach 1, you hit this card, and then you're good to go. That's it for spells. Off to traps, or run 1 Torino Tribute. Again, you don't mind destroying your own stuff, so not bad there. 1 Solemn Warning, I'm going to be able to see that. 1 Solemn Warning, just to get this stone of a card, which is really good. Double Quaking Mirror Force. I think this is the best Mirror Force because it makes your opponent put their stuff face down. It's really, really, really particularly powerful against Zodiacs because they really they need all the resources to be face up so they can keep comboing off. If they attack with a Trident and they can't destroy this card, or they can't like neutralize the effect, or they've already used the effect to destroy something, and you turn their stuff face down, they can't do anything, and it's really, really, really powerful. So I think Quaking Mirror Force is definitely the best choice in this deck. And then lastly, 1 Jar of Avarice to help recycle your resources back into your deck. And that's it for main deck. Off to the side deck, I run 1 Artifact Scythe because it stops your opponent possibly watching the extra deck for a turn, which is really good. Artifact Lancia stops dinosaurs. Double Flying Sea. It releases for the Zoo Hate, and 1 Maxi. Maxi, in my opinion, is the absolute best hand trap. Better than Ash Blossom, better than Ghost Ogre, because at worst, you're going 1 for 1 with this card. You're not going to plus off it better. At best, you're going to get 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, just based upon what your opponent does. Most times, you put opponent under Maxi, and they basically stop them for a turn, which is really good. And so I think Maxi, I think a side deck is okay. Just because a deck like True Dracos are a thing, and they don't supposed to summon a whole lot. Then I run double Gamecill, double Kumongous, and double Interrupted. And this is the best take on it because you don't really need the Kaijus in your deck to make the deck good, but they're not bad to have. You could always drop different cards to make it. You could drop like your Quick Draw, and you can make it. You could drop the whole XYZ part of the deck and make these cards. I think it's really, really powerful to have Kaijus. And Kumongous at 22, or I'm sorry, Kumongous at 24 and Gamecill at 22 means your boss monster can run over it, and your XZ Tank Cannon can run it over too, which is not bad. So I think these are the best way to do it. Run the weak ones with Interrupted, double Interrupted. Then I run 1 Limiter Removal in the side deck. This deck, like I said before, is not really an OTK deck. It really is like a control, kind of out-resource your opponent kind of deck. and how you control things, but this card really helps you go for the OTK if you find yourself in a situation where you're not being able to put enough damage on the board, so I think it's really good there. One, reasoning, every monster you run, with the exception of Photon Thrasher, can be normal summoned when it's revealed, so you're going to hopefully unbrick your hand if you find yourself bricking a lot in this deck, which I never do, but sometimes it's not bad to hit this card and see what you can find, which is pretty good. And then lastly, one, Bear from a Different Dimension. I think this card is really, really powerful in ABC, especially if you're playing a deck that runs a lot of Kaiju. Because they can Kaiju over your Buster Dragon, and then you can't really use his tag out ability, but this card can kind of negate that because you can return your A, B, and C pieces to the grave, and then you can rebanish them to make your Buster Dragon, so I think this card's really good at 1. You can only run it at 1, but I think it's really good in this deck. Now to the extra deck, I run triple ABC Buster Dragon. He's a big daddy of the deck, but he's the card you want to make, you want to use and abuse. If you can make him, I had a game where I made this guy 6 different times in the game, and it was every time I made him was awesome. Being able to discard 1 to banish 1 card on the field is really, really, really powerful. It doesn't destroy it, you just banish it, which is awesome. I think he's obviously really, really powerful. Having him at 3,000 attack too, which makes him really good. And his ability to tag himself out, to kind of recycle himself, was really good too. Then I run 1 XZ Tank Cannon, 1 XY Dragon Cannon, and 1 YZ Tank Dragon. This guy discard a card. They all discard a card, and they'll get effects. His card, you discard a card, and he destroys a face-down spell trap. He uses a face-up spell trap when he uses a face-down monster, which is not bad. And all of them are pretty strong. 21 is the weakest, 22, and then 24 for attack. Isn't bad. I think they're pretty good cards. And they're the originals. If you don't want to run them, you don't have to. I run them because I think they're cool and kind of like, it's kind of fun to drop one of those and your opponent be like, what the hell does this card just play? But it's pretty cool. 1 Geared Giant X. You discard 1 and search a level 4 or lower machine. Everything you run is level 4 machine. So Photon Thrasher, so really good there. Then I run the Infinity package, 1 Infinity and 1 Nova. Being able to make Infinity, if you have a first turn, if you have a board at any point in time where you have Buster Dragon and Infinity, you're going to win. And you have at least 1 card in hand, you're going to win. I have yet to lose making both those cards. It's really kind of hard to do. I had a game I played against Paleozoics way back when this deck first came out, and I actually was able to make Infinity and make a big Buster Dragon on the first turn for anything. I opened up double quick draw, a Terraforming, A, and a B. So, I mean, it was just like off for the races, you know what I mean? You Terraforming, you want Union Hanger, searched out my C, discarded A, discarded B, summoned C, searched A, made Buster Dragon, and I had Infinity and Buster Dragon, and it was this kind of game from there, and I had a card in hand, which is pretty cool. So I think really powerful to help you control game state. 1 Heavy Armored Train Iron Wolf. First the fact, if you want to go for the OTK, is not bad because you can target 1 machine type monster you control and you can attack your opponent directly. But other monsters you control cannot attack. And then if he is destroyed by an opponent's card effect or a battle, such as a graveyard, you can add 1 level 4 machine type monster from your deck to your hand. So not bad at 1. I run this guy, whose name I cannot pronounce for the life of me. I think he's really, really kind of cool, especially against Dryden, because Dryden can't target and destroy him because you can just redirect the thing. Redirect his thing, and 2450 is still pretty good. 1 Dark Rebellion, XZ Dragon. I think a really powerful card. Being able to target a monster, gain half their attack, and then run into it's not bad. 1 101 Silent Honor Arc, because you can take your opponent's stuff, which is pretty cool. And then I run Double Utopia. If I had Lightning, I run Lightning. I run Double Utopia just because you can negate an attack, but I think it's really powerful. It helps you kind of control the game once again. So this deck, again, like I was saying, is still really, really, really fun. It's still really powerful. Nothing has been hit. Nothing has been limited. Nothing has been banned. The deck is still really, really fun. And going forward in a Link format, this deck might be even better. Just because you can, you don't really need more than 1 extra spot. But if you do have the more than 1 extra spot, you can obviously Buster Dragon and then remake him again, and make him again, and make him again, and then make your rank 4 plays, and you can kind of just go off from there. So yeah, that's deck profile. Obviously, ABCs were a really popular deck, just a couple formats ago. I think they're still really, really, really powerful, and they're still really fun, and they're still really budget. This whole deck, I think the main deck itself, I think cost me like maybe $50 total. This here cost me like maybe 10, And the side deck cost me a little bit more, but outside of the Scythe, it wasn't too bad. The whole deck, I mean, everything pieced together here was maybe under $80. So a really good budget deck that really can win you a lot of games, really can go off. And it is control based, which is kind of cool. I really control decks. But that's it for the deck profile. Thank you so much for watching as always. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.